Yep, here again. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying it because you got to get in there. Are you ready? Let's get it. Hey, people. Assalamu alaikum. Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings to all of you. You know who I am. You should know who I am by now. Your friendly neighborhood Muslim brother Taalib, and the show called Brother Taalib Show. Yes, I'm here again. We gonna get in here again with this great informative doctor, Dr. Harnet. I left off on the fourth part of the video. I know I got a lot of videos out for this subject matter, but it is very, very crucial. It is very, very crucial. We really got to get it together and be on board and be on the train, because if we don't, we're going to miss it. We're going to miss it all. And then we're going to be so unhappy, displeased with ourselves, and that we did not take, a position to where we are able to be able to reap the benefits that are coming from the new world order. Now, let me stop. The new world things, the great reset, all of that, and then some. You see, you got to understand, and why I'm so excited and happy about it is because, I mean, in the light of the hard struggles and what's going on, and even, inna Allahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun, from Allah we come and to Allah we shall return. For those who have passed, the Muslims, alhamdulillah, Allah, may Allah have mercy upon them and give them Jannah. And the non-Muslims, that's a whole nother story. I don't want to go there. This is not the platform or the time for it. But my Islamic groups or my Islamic videos, you can probably understand and get the gist of what is the outcome for that. But those deaths that happen, yeah, it is a sad thing. But in the light of that and beyond that, because life goes on, and we know in our faith as Muslims, we have to continue our life and we have to move on. We don't stay in a rut because of the deaths of the people, because that's just a regular part of life. But we also don't forget, and we also don't take it like, it is a balance. We don't take it like, oh, we don't care. We have no compassion and no sensitivity to what has happened. So it has been a really struggle and a sad thing for those people who have passed and struggled with this pandemic. But at the same time, a lot of blessings, ni'mah came, a lot of unseen blessings came about, and the blessings of being able to have a newer type of form of monetary systems throughout the world globally, giving people a chance, regular people like myself, and who are struggling day to day to support their families, to have food in their kitchen, or even have a kitchen, have a house, be able to be in a home, not living in the street, homeless, like the homeless level has reached in today in these times is really, it's phenomenal. It's scary. It's sad, but also in other countries those who are struggling. But here in America, hey, it's bad. It's bad. And then people who are unemployed now, and businesses that are shutting down. People who strive to start small business, and they can't even get nowhere with it because it's not a business that's falling in line with what's going on, as this doctor has been speaking about, even just for Africa, but let alone different countries. You have to know how to bring yourself in a position and put yourself in a position where you can still function within these times. But you have to know, you have to listen, you have to, listen and talk about what you know, and do it. Excuse me, do it, but not just talk, but do it. That's 100%. So basically, I'm gonna let you go back at what she was saying, but it's some real stuff that's going on. This is very crucial. So we have to listen and take heed. So let's get into it. Ready? Let's go.
For those of us who believe we will go back to our old beautiful life. They call it a fiction. It will not happen. Okay? So there are four main constructs. If you read, and I've really, as I said, I followed, I read, I listened, I watched, and there are four reoccurring themes. And I will say a little bit more about them in a minute. One of the most important themes that is being mentioned in the context of the Great Reset is a worldwide green economy. Basically, they're saying that we have been producing, consuming. And it harms our globe, our environment, and it also harms us as human beings, because most of us in the Western world are not really happy or fulfilled.
Now, basically, to speak on what she's saying, the green, economy, global economy, is very serious and significant to what we're dealing with now. Many of the things that are going on due to the pandemic has taken us away from the regular old ways of how industry and money and economics have been functioning in the world, let alone in America. So now we're seeing that because of the detriment of how we've been practicing our practices of business, practices of how money's supposed to be functioning, and the people going without, as the amounts of people that going without compared to the people who have, is in other words, the have-nots and the haves and the have-nots. You understand what I'm saying? The 1%, and then the rest of don't barely have anything. The ecosystem being destroyed, meaning the ecosystem as far as climate is concerned, and the atmosphere of our Earth being, and the land, and the erosion of land, and all these types of things, and affecting the climate change, which they spoke on. They had forums, global forums about global warming, and this stuff is led to now in these times that there has to be a change in how things are going to be done on those levels that I just mentioned. And she's speaking about economically, especially. So, and business is involved in it. It's involved in the economics. Money, business, wealth. That's all encompassed within economics. So our economies are changing, and it has no choice. We have no choice, and those who are going to go with the flow are going to be able to survive and even do better, and I mean become well off. But she'll explain more as we can listen. Ready?
Robots of consumerism. Now, the framework of the Great Reset is that everything will change in regards to how we produce and how we consume. Right. It needs to be done in a sustainable way. And yes. Now listen, and I hope you can see how crucial it is to understand that. If you are planning now a business in Africa, or you're planning to invest, if that is the new narrative, a green economy globally, then it means that we have to set up businesses that will be prepared and operate within that new narrative. And I believe in here lies a wonderful, beautiful, big opportunity for many businesses in Africa to lead ahead. Because frankly, our economies across the continent are still in their infant shoes. By and large, they're emerging, but they're not.
Now, look at that. When it comes to starting a business, and even at one point in time, I was, speaking to somebody, and then also I spoke to my son, my oldest son, because he endeavored in doing business, and then likes this. And I'm glad, and I'm very happy for him and his business partners. May Allah give them better, Allahumma ameen. But also dealing with the time, we have to take into consideration what's happening, what's going on, how the economy is going, how regulation in relation to doing business is going, because that was going to become a actual factor when the pandemic came through. Of course, it was going to affect business, and it did in a big way. It was a huge impact in a negative way more than a positive way. Now, the positives that came in was people who had either they modified their business to be able to sell or produce products that were in line with what was needed, which was essential needs. You know, dealing with, of course, cleaning and sanitizing and disinfecting kind of agents and products and stuff like that. Soaps, for the body and everything. Vitamins. That the market in the vitamin industry increased, and natural foods, because people became more health conscious as well as more hygienically conscious, because now people weren't leaving the bathroom without washing their hands. Like I used to see some really trifling stuff, man. People go and do their thing in the bathroom, the public bathrooms especially, and then they'll come out and go straight out and won't even wash their hands. And this stuff has changed now. Now people are regularly washing their hands. Now people are regularly doing things that these essential cares products are very much needed to do. So those people with those businesses were still flourishing, and even myself included, with me and my wife, my business name called Back to Nature. And inshallah, you can look me up in there, and website that I have. I'll actually post that stuff later when I get the video that I'm gonna put out for the products and stuff like this, because this is a whole nother segment, a whole nother channel. So anyway, pretty much those businesses flourished, and that's pretty much. And this is what she's talking about. Like now in Africa, for those who don't really get it, or just stuck in the American way, and may Allah forgive me. I'm not trying to make fun of people, but it's like it's just real. I'm trying to keep it real. That, come on, we did not build this country for us, and it's not. And this country wasn't, put it this way, it wasn't built for us. Whether we did it and other people helped to do it, the natives built the skyscrapers along with the Asians building the railroads, and whoever else helped, and the man with the whip was just whipping. The man with the money was just talking, oh, you get that and do this and get this, and we know who that was, right? So who runs it still today? Yeah, we know who that is. Predominantly, we know who's in the dominant position. Let's get it real. Let's keep it real. So why are you stuck here? What do you think we're gonna get the best of the best still, like Oprah and Jay-Z's and these celebrities? How many? You can count them on your hand. You can count, celebrities off your tongue, and figure out how many are they compared to the majority of us regular people, layman people, as they might say. There's more of us that don't got. We're the have-nots. And as far as for African Americans, not to make it any race issue, which it is, we're at the bottom of the totem pole of all those that are, down at the bottom. But we're at the bottom. You have the top, then you have under them, and then you have under them, and down to who's at the bottom. At least we're at the fifth place, as an approximate, not exact, of course. But it's sad, and we're more consumers than we are producers. We're not, majority of us are not business people, or not even business inclined, not business trained. We're trained to work for people, and we work for lower wages, and we work in positions or jump to job because we want higher standards. We want this, we want that, but we don't promote that action within ourselves as being a boss, like a boss, be the boss. That boss thing, and it's saying the boss bees and all that. I mean, how many of the boss bees? And you don't even use that B word. I mean, we shouldn't even be using that, let alone. This is the mentality. We got to get out of that stuff, that street mentality. We got to wake up. Streets are still the same. They not never and never going to be any benefit to us. Never. It's not changing. And some of us who return back to that are Muslim, that's even more foolish. It doesn't make no sense. It's sad. It's a sad disposition, but they put themselves into that and they chose that path. They chose to go back to that. Allah has given us plenty of ways out. We just got to go and make it and happen. It makes it happen and stop making excuses. I'm talking for myself first. I mean, I've been through my years of being immature and making bad moves and bad decisions and not making good decisions and not moving on what I needed to move on and feeling bad and regretful after that. I'm tired. I hope you're tired. I hope people are really tired. Are you ready? Are you tired? Are you want to get things different? So going to Africa, as many people, well, they do the same thing. You still going to run into problems there, and there's nothing. Ain't nobody talking about that. Ain't nobody talking about that. The world is you have utopias in the world. There's no utopia. There's no paradise here on this earth. Paradise is after. Bada yomu akhir. After the day of the judgment. Yom Qiyamah. That's after all of this, and we make du'a. May Allah protect us from that which comes, that we're in a good right place with Him on that day, especially especially that day. But when we enter, before we get to that day, we enter this grave, the ground, or however we go, that Allah is going to take us. So, but we got to keep it real. Like, come on. We talk bad about Africa and this and like this, but along with the people who stole us from there. So, well, not us per se, but our ancestors, the people that we came from. Most African Americans are descendants from African slaves. Get it real. You can say, "Oh, my father came over here." Some people father came over, or you mix with Native American, or you mix with Spanish, or whatever. But that doesn't take away from where your ancestry came from, especially if it's predominant within you. Do your test. Go and do the DNA test. Find out. Do that. But again, predominantly Muslim lands is that on that side, not over here. This is not a Muslim land. This is not a Muslim continent. There's a lot of Muslims here. A portion of them came over and immigrated. That hasn't changed anything. They changed their life from being upon what they should have been upon to being upon what the kuffar are upon, what the non-Muslims are upon. The people who don't care to be pleasing to Allah. They want to be pleasing to their desires. They put in the desires first, or they put in other gods first. Not Allah, not the one deity worthy of worship. The one, the creator, al-Qalaq, But back on point with what's going on here. Sometimes I get a little extra, but I got to. This is me. I'm trying to keep it real with you. I'm trying to bring the real reality of what's going on. We have to get better. We got to get better. But she says, back to what she's saying, in Africa there's much more opportunities because they just still like reborn. It's like a rebirth there, because Africa has been ancient. It's not new. It's not a new continent. It's not like America. America is a child to all the rest of the continents as far as an established civilization, other than the Native Americans that were here, because their civilization was here first. But as far as the Western civilization, or our civilization as ancient as Africa, it wasn't known here in America like that. But it is known in Africa for sure. So it's a rebirth, a renaissance, if you want to say. And do you want to be there? Because I know I do. But if you don't, that's on you. You make your choice in life. So let's go back, listen to what she's saying.
What has developed? And we have a lot of industries that are not developed at all, or very poorly developed. Now, herein lies a unique opportunity for every country in Africa to start building, be it infrastructure, be it small, medium-sized businesses, the service provision, service sector, and so on, production and so on, to start building in the framework of a green economy. It would protect our communities here, but it would also position ourselves powerfully in the world. And the beautiful opportunity here for all of you who are planning businesses and investments in Africa is that we do not need to undo all that we've built, the conventional, and build it into the new green economy. We can actually start building it from scratch, okay? So that is the one big pillar of the Great Reset.
Yes.
The next big pillar of the Great Reset is digital. Digital, digital, digital. Things will happen online, if we like it or not. They will be supported by technology, by innovation, if we like it or not. And the faster we can adapt to that, and we adapt our businesses to it, the better will we be positioned. The third.
Okay. Digital, digital, digital. The future. I've been talking about that, haven't I? A lot of you watch my video that are watching it now regularly. Those of you who have watched my videos, because I, of course, I'm not, I'm not big on views. I want to be, because I want to basically get the word out, get myself up there to that level where I can get more viewers and more people coming, which I'm going to be soon doing lives on YouTube, well, through Zoom, YouTube, what have you, StreamYard, once I get it organized, because I'm not one in my life in these times to be very hasty and just want to make moves and throw stuff up, and it's not good quality. So I'm trying to be better in that aspect. But basically, I've mentioned stuff, just what this lady is talking about. And gotta make doors. Yes. And then the fact of the matter is we're going there, whether we like it or not. The societies of the world are going into digital. We already have been in digital with the internet, with the global web and all this other type of stuff. The cloud, so many different other technologies. Now social media is online. It's not necessarily like you go to a news station and they broadcast from that news station. No, that's old ways of putting out media. And it still exists. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's the mainstream media, of course, because they run those stations and they still will be running those stations, but they also use social media as well because they know how powerful it is. I mean, social media had created revolutions throughout the world. One of them, the Arab Spring. I was there. I was in Egypt at the time when this jumped off, when it happened at first in Tunis or Tunisia, and then spread throughout a lot of the Middle Eastern and Muslim lands, of course. Why did that happen? Who would like to know? Would you like to know? It doesn't matter. It's gone. It's done. But it's something else. What she's saying is really and when I speak about the digital and why what I'm into is very important and significant because it's a heightened, lucrative, highly potential wealth building way of investment. Cryptocurrency. Investing in cryptocurrency. I'm going to say it again. Cryptocurrency. Currency. A way that is to have ownership of your money, peer to peer, person to person. The money goes through. No one basically controls you unless you have a entity that's in the middle that you want your money to sit like an exchange. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, and they custody your money, as they call it, custody meaning they hold it for you. but you're allowing them to hold it for you like a bank, but you have more control over that than had it been in a regular bank through the banking system of the feds or what have you. It's not like that. But right now we're in there. We're in the midst. We're in the young years, the years that started from 2009, 2008, 2009 with Bitcoin, and then it one rose into what it is coming today. I mean, subhanallah. So let's get it popping. Let's hear some.
Big pillar of the Great Reset. And they have not actually spelled it out as like first, second, third, fourth pillar. This is just me compiling the 4 pillars, reading through so much information and listening to a lot that I can see, okay, these are the 4 reoccurring big themes. The third one, in my view, is the most worrying and challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And that is artificial intelligence, which of course also provides a lot of opportunity and a lot of important solutions to major challenges we're facing in the world. But when you listen very carefully, and they're making no secret out of it in the World Economic Forum, I'm telling you, they're also talking about tracking everything and everyone. Now they're saying that this will be necessary to keep you safe from another pandemic that may come. They also say it's necessary to make sure that you're being taken care of, that you're safe, and so that is the kind of context they're using. And they're actually talking, believe it or not, I know it's unbelievable, but they're actually talking about microchips that will be implanted into each one of us to track what we do and where we go, and so on and so forth. Now, I know this, again, sounds very, very far-fetched too, and I won't go much more into detail, but we cannot...
Yeah, and she says far-fetched, meaning in essence of what she was trying to say before, earlier as well, a conspiracy theorist or a person that is in conspiracy. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, woman as well. Can't leave out the woman too. We got to do better than that. Meaning we got to be better than that. Not be just fools, not just be blind. How many times when you're spoken about something from different angles and different people meeting at the same place, a consensus, there's a consensus from these people. And these people come from positions that they were working for the system. They're in the system. And they left the system due to what they're hearing and the stuff that's going on and the stuff they was battling themselves with. They couldn't believe that who's these people and what they're doing and planning these plans and putting these plans into effect, like the pandemic. They said, this is crazy. A lot of these people speaking. And then what do they get? The label of conspiracy theorist. So basically, there's enough said and there's enough shown, enough proof. There's enough proof. You don't have to keep going and come on, man. Keep going conspiracy theory. That's a conspiracy theory. You got to be careful, bro. No, if those of you do that, a lot of the people that I be, with that I know that I'm close with don't speak that way. They know what is going on. They may not make it as a main thing in their life to flow on like the kuffar do, like the non-Muslims do, because we know better. We have to be balanced. We're not going to engulf our life with that stuff. We move on. We keep on going, but we know what's in the way. We know the obstacles that are in the way. We know who's these people, what they're doing, and trying to make moves against and plans. But we know Allah is the best of planners. That's what we do now as Muslims. So we're going to go and flow with our Lord. We're not going to worry about those people too much like that. We're going to watch them and watch our back, not turn our back and let them jump on our backs and get us. No, we're going to be careful. And like with that vaccine, be careful. Don't just jump with it. We saw the Grand Mufti do it. May Allah protect him, whom I mean, that don't mean anything. Not to take away from his scholarship, his knowledge. No. But in that aspect, he is not a scholar of that area, medical, and knowing what's in that stuff, and making sure that people tested it over and over again before the way they put it out there, how they put it out there so fast. Nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, and my family ain't doing it. Know that unless we are forced, we got to be forced. I mean, Allah protect us from that. But you have to know stuff. You can't just jump in, and that's my opinion. That's my feelings about it. You can't just with stuff like that. You can't just jump and say, "Oh yeah, let's go. You put it. Go ahead, hit me." Oh man, bump that. No. But anyway, let's move on.
Really close our eyes from that. If we want to really believe how important it is to understand the global shift that's going to happen, we have to understand that aspect. And there is, there was one speaker at the World Economic Forum who talked about the danger of that. So basically, he knows it's an agenda of the World Economic Forum. That means the 8,000 top people in business and government. They know that this is a bigger agenda, and now he's been invited, and there are also activists being invited. I mean, it's a platform for everyone that kind of has a say in the world, including I don't know, Greta Thunberg or some known activists in Africa who were fighting for rights in Africa. So all of them are part of it. And then there was one man who did a very lengthy presentation on the risk of that. Monitoring everything, including our thoughts, how we will react to certain news, for example, to certain orders. And now what they're saying is, and we're talking here about the next 10 years, okay? I'm not talking about some kind of next 100 years. We're talking about the next 10 years. And they're basically saying...
And to make it short, because I got to go and pray, and I'm going to pause this. Google is part of that at this point, as far as being able to know about people's doing in regular transactions in their life. If you notice that, and then online, not just Google, but any big time internet like browsing system, or they deal with connecting to other data, or allowing to flow with other apps and stuff within your computer systems in the World Wide Web. Google's big. That's why I mentioned Google, not because I'm just putting them on the line and saying they're the culprits. They're the ones doing all this stuff. No, they're not the ones. They're part of the tool. They're being used just like other tools, like Facebook and even over here, YouTube puts out media and their social media. It's a social media platform. You know what I mean? So they play a role in learning about people. They got to know who they're dealing with, and for reasons for security purposes and the likes of these things. But this is what she's talking about. All these different infrastructures and these different components are coming together under these people who are pushing these buttons. You know what I'm saying? And just like that's what it is. It's happening already. And like she says, within 10 years, it probably should be pretty much stabilized and locked in as official infrastructure of these lands, of the global economy, as well as global infrastructures throughout the world. So that's it. But anyway, let me go and pause up. It's 34 in, and we're gonna try to finish out if we can. But matter of fact, I'm gonna cut this video and I'll go right back into another one. It looks like it's gonna be a few, because I want to get to a point of what she mentions about the areas that I'm in. Once we get to that point, we finish, inshallah. So and the importance of it. So I haven't mentioned my other videos because I need these videos to come on out here to get across to the people. So I need your help, brothers and sisters, family, whoever's watching, people who are just viewers that just came upon my video. don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up or like, and also share the videos, please, so that it can get across. I'm not worrying about money because right now I'm not even at that point. Monetization, whatever they want to call it, and you get paid little bits, pieces of it. I'm wanting to get this out more further than it has been, and more people to view it, and more people to know what is being said. You know, and hopefully I can benefit you. Besides myself, I'm trying to benefit me because that's part of the deen. You got to first do for you and your family. But I'm trying to benefit my Muslim community, outside the Muslim community, the other human beings on this earth. We gotta get better. We gotta get upon awareness better. So I'm trying to bring that, inshallah. So, okay, so I'm gonna go on out, make my salat, make my prayer, and I'll come on back to you guys with one more video, I guess, for the day. And after that, I'm gonna be done for the day. But I'm gonna try, probably, if I have to do more, I'll do it another day, inshallah, to finish up what she's saying, inshallah, because it's very crucial. Alhamdulillah. All right. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Until next time.